Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kicks, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on Luka Doncic'S fourth signature shoe with Jordan Brand, the Jordan Luka 4. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. Also, if you did want to buy a pair of these, I will leave an affiliate link in the description box below. If you do purchase through that link, it does help me out directly, which is very much appreciated, so I can keep bringing you all content just like this. But as always, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Jordan Brand Luka 4 features pretty much a herringbone traction pattern, and it does pretty much traditional herringbone. It kind of does like change, I guess, like the way it kind of points, I guess, a little bit here and there, but I would just consider this, traditional herringbone. And yeah, how is the traction? Obviously, this is a translucent outsole. Even this black stuff is like a translucent outsole. And translucent outsoles from Jordan Brand and or Nike usually don't perform as well as the solid rubber options. And traction on here, if you're playing on clean courts, is actually very, very good. You're gonna have a very hard stop, very hard bite. You're not gonna have any issues sliding around. If you are playing on dust though, that's where you're gonna have some issues, right? Obviously, as you all can see, this thing is just caked with dust. And yeah, I mean, even if you wipe, like, yeah, you can wipe off the dust, but you're not going to clear it off completely. So I think really on dusty courts, or the dustier courts, I should say, is where, you kind of have some issues with this. You will slide to a stop. I never completely slid out or anything, so obviously that's a good thing. But even after wiping, there are some plays where you might have some hard stops. Other times you might just slide to a stop. But that's the performance on like your, dustier courts. If it's like moderately dusty, I still think you all should be good. You probably will still have to wipe from time to time. But yeah, overall traction is good. Just watch out if you are playing on your dustier courts, you are going to have to wipe. And even then, wiping can only help so much and you will probably slide to a stop. So moving on to the cushion, the Luka 4 features a full-length Cushlon 3.0 midsole, and you also have a 4-foot zoom unit. And this is where it gets weird. The zoom unit in here isn't horizontal, it's actually vertical with the shoe. So before, Luka actually had his own signature model. I remember him playing in the Jordan Zoom Separate, which is actually one of my favorite Jordan Brand team shoes to play in, and that featured that vertical zoom unit. And in the Luka.77 or Luka 77 and the Luka 4, they have the same thing. In here, it is bottom loaded. You do have like a plate on top of it too, the ISO plate. So honestly, when it comes to the cushion in this shoe, like the heel is nice. You do get some good compression. You get some good impact protection in the heel. It's nice and soft. As you move towards the 4-foot, it is definitely more low to the ground, very responsive feeling. And the thing about the zoom unit is you really don't feel it that much. You can barely feel it. I would say you have a very, very, very subtle bounce from that zoom unit, which, it kind of sucks because obviously if there's a zoom unit in the 4-foot, I personally would like to feel it. I remember the Jordan Zoom Separate actually felt pretty damn nice if I recall correctly. So I wish it kind of felt like that, but in the end, it is what it is. And I'm still not going to complain too much because in my, with my play style, I don't mind having this very responsive 4-foot area with a very, very subtle bounce. And yeah, I mean, if you guys are expecting a lot of bounciness or a lot of cushion in the shoe, obviously you're not going to get that. I think Luka does prefer to have that responsive shoe for his type of play style. And this is definitely catered for people that probably want to play like him. So in my personal opinion, the cushion is fine. I wish you felt the zoom unit a little bit more. So yeah, it is what it is. Personally for me, the cushion was fine. If you wanted, more out of the cushion setup, you're just not gonna get that. So moving on to the materials, the Luka 4 features a couple of different materials. It's mainly a textile upper. And honestly, the textiles don't feel like that premium or anything. They feel decent. So in terms of the quality, obviously it could have been a lot better. However, in terms of the performance, I do think that the materials get the job done very, very well. They feel pretty damn light. They conform to the foot. In terms of containment, it does the job as well. And yeah, I mean, what more could you really ask for out of the materials other than feeling, more premium, I guess? Moving towards the tongue, you do have like your mesh tongue. It is like adequately padded. It doesn't have like too much padding or anything, but it has enough if you do like to crank down your laces. So you won't feel the laces digging into the top of your foot, which is awesome. And you also have these wide flat laces as well. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to the materials, like I said, mainly textile, you do have some layers of textile. You also have like flight wire in here too, which is supposed to enhance the fit. But as far as the actual materials go, it's not the best feeling. You do have like this synthetic like nubuck on the back as well. But yeah, it's not the best feeling in terms of the quality, but in terms of the performance, it does get the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the Luka 4 does run true to size. I am a slightly wide footer. I went true to size and I felt pretty good. There is a slight narrowness up in the forefoot area, so wide footers, you might want to watch out. Potentially go up a half size if you do have very wide feet to alleviate some of that pressure over here. But everyone else pretty much should be good going true to size. Besides that, you do have a nice close fit, not too much dead space up in the toe box area. You also have a half booty upper, which gives you as close of a 1-to-1 fit as possible. And like I already mentioned in the materials, you do have like flight wire in here, which is supposed to enhance the fit when you do crank down your laces. So yeah, I mean, the fit in here was good. Honestly, nothing special. It just gets the job done very, very well without, any added luxuries or anything like that. It's just solid at what it does and doesn't have anything fancy. So moving on to the support, the Luka 4 pretty much has no issues with support in my opinion. There is something interesting though, which I'll get to in a bit. But starting off with the heel, you do have an internal heel counter. You have some decent heel sculpting along with a little bit of heel padding as well. And yeah, I didn't have any issues when it comes to the heel containment in the shoe. No heel slippage, no side-to-side movement in the heel area. When it comes to side-to-side movement on the footbed, you're covered there as well. You do sit inside this midsole just a little bit, which I think does help, but also the materials do a great job of making sure your foot is nice and planted on that footbed. When it comes to hard lateral movements, you're gonna be covered there as well. You do have a fairly wide base and this rubber does actually protrude out to form an outrigger. So you're gonna be covered. You're gonna be able to do the step backs, crosses, whatever you want, and you're never gonna have an issue. And then when it comes to torsional rigidity and stability, you're actually covered there as well. What's really surprising is there isn't a shank in here. At least I'm pretty sure there's no shank. What you do have is just like this ISO plate, which obviously runs on the outside of the shoe and into the forefoot area right here. And this is still fairly stiff and rigid. It does have a little bit of flexibility, but I mean, when it comes to the actual torsional rigidity and stability, it's more than enough. Like I never had any issues with the shoe in that area or just the support in general. So yeah, overall, the support in the Luka 4 was pretty good. So the Luka 4 retails for $130, and for $130, I would say that's like a pretty solid price for the shoe. I will say though, for $130, especially from like some other brands, you can probably get a lot more tech for that same price, especially when it comes to the midsole / like cushion setup. There's just like other brands that produce a more special type of cushion, like, Boom, for instance. Like that's a great cushion setup and you can get that for $130. Also quick sticky tech, things like that. So yes, it is, I would say, expensive for what it is, but it is still a solid performer. Cushline still feels great. Can't feel the zoom unit too much, like I said. That's in the forefoot, which is kind of a bummer, but still, all in all, this is a very solid performer. I think the biggest gripe for me is probably the traction. Just because, like I said, on dust, you probably will slide to a stop and you really can't stop it no matter how much you wipe. Sometimes you might have a good stop, sometimes you might slide to a stop, and it just is what it is. Maybe a future colorway with a solid rubber outsole will perform a lot better. I'll get a pair of those whenever they do come out and I'll make like an update video for you all. But as it stands right now, the traction is not the best on dustier courts. And yeah, so $130, I'd still say it's a solid shoe. Just watch out if you're playing on dustier courts. And yeah, I mean, personally, this is probably my favorite Luka model out of the 4 that are out now, or that have come out, I guess. So yeah, I mean, the Luka 4, fun shoe to play in, just gotta watch out for that traction. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave a comment, as those really do help me out. Check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.